Welcome back to part 6 of the Metroid Prime walkthrough. We'll begin by going through here, seeing these zoomers, or gamers I mean. Those are zoomers. And heading back to the Talon overworld. We haven't been this way before. And one of the nice things is that behind these venom weeds, we actually have a missile expansion. Up to 65 missiles. So we'll just make our way through. Again, more of these mushrooms. And here we can see that we're in a large expanse. To our left we can see the frigate crash site. Now with the ice beam, with some careful shots, we can attack these flying pirates. Keep in mind that the ice beam is a slow weapon, so being able to hit these pirates here is going to take a little bit of time and patience. But the nice thing is that when you blow them with a missile, there's no kamikaze, they just shatter. I don't believe you can make your way up here. Here we can attack this pirate there. See some wounded pirates. We'll ignore them, but we see that there's some pirates over there. And we'll make our way towards them. As we make our way, those pirates are flying pirates, and they will just take off, presumably to warn the rest of the troops that we are here. Scanning this crate is optional, but it does give us a nice image. This crate appears to be the same type of container found on the Space Pirate Research Frigate. The material seeping out from the ruptured metal is highly toxic. Analysis indicates that this may be the phazon compound the space pirates were using in their biological experiments. So, phazon here is this iridescent goo leaching out. We'll ignore that at the moment and ignore the fact that there is a crash frigate behind there. Instead, what we really need is an item that will allow us to navigate the waters so that when we're underwater, we won't have any problems navigating. Here we are back at the landing site. So those of you who are playing along, if you want to save your game and recharge your energy as well as your ammunition, by all means go ahead and do so. And we will proceed all the way to Talon Canyon towards the root cave and try and get back to the elevator to Phendrana Drifts as quickly as possible. Once again, not really bothering to attack any of the enemies. You can certainly attack the enemies that are directly in your path, but don't go out of your way to shoot them. With this enemy, firing an ice beam at the flower will just freeze it, and then you'll have to wait a few seconds for the flower to thaw. So might as well just shoot the sap sac above it and kill the blood flower outright. Most of the weaker enemies are killed outright with the ice beam. The stronger enemies will be frozen first. So not every enemy can be frozen with the ice beam. Make our way down to Magmore Caverns. And this time we're going to head this way, I believe. Nope. Going the other way. To where the spider ball tunnel is. This time I'm going to use the track to go along the top, avoid the lava. Have enough energy to navigate the lava, no problem. It's just climbing the cliff at the other end I find a little bit troublesome. So I'm going to ignore that. With the ice beam you can actually freeze these jets so that they're no longer a problem. It's a coin toss, I think, on which is faster, Morph Ball or freezing the jets. But the nice thing is that with all those stalactites that we put in the way, at least navigating this lava room is not nearly as difficult. The only annoying thing is that you have these doors that are coated with certain beam weapons, and it'd be nice that if you shot them once with the beam weapons, then you wouldn't have to keep shooting them with the same beam weapons, but you know. Oop. Let's try that again. Oh, where am I going? I'm going this way. Well, that was a bit troublesome, but oh well. And I really hate those burrowers. Alright, this particular, what are they? I've forgotten the name of those creatures there. That one's not so bad to activate, but we gotta fight these space pirates yet again. So just, I will say it's very difficult to climb the steps on the other side with those space pirates not killed. So do take the time to kill them so that you have a relatively easy time climbing these steps. And heading back to this elevator. Thankfully, traversing from one area to the next doesn't take too long. On the other side of that door is a save station, if you're interested in saving. And here we are back to the elevator outside the quarantine cave where we fought the artist. And there is that spider ball track where we can climb up. And we can see that there is the ice door. So now that we have the ice beam, we can open the ice door and proceed. One of the highlights of the Metroid Prime series is that all the games have terrific music. So this area in particular is one of my personal favorites in terms of Metroid music. It's got a really nice beat. So there are 4 doors here. We are looking for the second one from the bottom. We're just gonna make our way, slowly and carefully. Did I go too far? I think I went too far. So I think it's that door that I want. Yeah. We'll go into this door. I'm gonna check the map. So here. Yep. That's the second door from the top. Or from the bottom, I mean. So we're gonna go through this door. Use the morph ball to go through this little passageway between these sheets of ice and snow. Encounter some ice beetles. Oh gosh. And some scarabs once again. And in this room we have 2 new creatures. Let's start with the more deadly of the 2. First get my ice beam. And then, here we are. Morphology, Hunter Metroid, Adolescent Metroid, Energy Siphon Tentacle increases its threat level. As the Metroids develop, they become more efficient predators. An energy draining tentacle allows them to attack at a distance. Quick to anger, a Hunter Metroid will charge troublesome prey and attempt to ram them into submission. Cold-based attacks are still quite effective against these creatures. So now with the Ice Beam, we can freeze them, and 1 missile will take care of them. Ooh, and a nice missile pack. Over here we have another creature. Morphology, Glider. Docile airborne creatures with unusual magnetic properties. Gliders live in a relatively peaceful existence. They have a magnetic signature attuned to common grapple beam technology. The sport of glider riding involves using a grapple to attach to a glider, then staying on it as long as possible. Yep. So, once we've taken care of the Hunter Metroid, the idea here is that there are a number of stalactites that we can use to make our way over. We'll start with this stalactite over here. We can see the weak spot. Fire a missile. And that stalactite will fall, allowing us to proceed. Jumping over here. Up here, there's a save station door. And over here is a silicon stalactite that we can fire a missile at, and that'll allow us to climb this ice shelf over here to continue on the intended path. Make our way up here. Oh, I'm a little bit disoriented. So we shot that pillar down, and we're heading up through this door. Yes, that's the way. We'll go through this particular tunnel. It's kind of neat how there's this perfectly carved ice tunnel here. I'm not sure what created that. In this case, I will take the time, as these guys can be a bit annoying to fight, or it's a bit annoying to go through here. There we go. So we got the missiles here. And in fact, we will dive right into the water, and we will encounter a new creature. Morphology is Gelzap, aquatic predator made of electrically bound skeletal halves. The Gelzap's brain is located in the upper half of its body, while the heart and digestive tract occupy the lower half. Linked only by electrical impulses, the two halves somehow function effectively enough to launch the Gelzap to the top of Talon 4's aquatic food chain. This seems highly improbable. But one of the interesting properties is that the Gelzap certainly seems to have the ability to attract prey. But we will go through here, find a scatter bamboo, more scatter bamboos along the way. One of the things you may notice here is that going through the water is not an easy task to do. Coming in here, we see that there are two more stalactites that we can blast, so we will go ahead and do so. Blasting that one stalactite will kill a Gelzap and kill a second Gelzap. Flickerbacks along the way. So this makes a path along the water here, across the way. And what we can do is that once we are here, we can climb up and scale this particular rock face to proceed. Or I believe I'm missing something. I think maybe I'm missing a third. Yes, I think maybe there is in fact a third stalactite that I'm supposed to blast. So let me try blasting that again. Yes, there it is. So let's see if I can aim it. Am I lucky? Yes, I am. Let's try that again. So now we can make our way across the water here. Yes. And use this third stalactite to hop up here and go into this particular cavern. More scattered bamboos. And make our way into a large submersed area called the gravity chamber. Here we have a new enemy. Aqua Reaper, powerful aquatic tentacle, part of a submerged organism. Similar in nature to the surface-based Reaper vine, the aquatic Reaper has adapted to its liquid environment. It shares the poor vision of its rock-dwelling cousin, relying on a crude sonar sense to seek prey. Unhindered by water, the Aqua Reaper has considerable speed and strength. And so, since they're just like the Aqua Reaper, you blast them and they'll be stunned. Being submersed is can be a bit challenging. We'll just wander over here. There is a power-up located in this particular cavern, just on the other side of this spot. You can see it floating over there. This is in fact the gravity suit. The gravity suit, first introduced in Super Metroid, has the ability where it will negate the effects of water. It will also enhance Samus's vision so she can see perfectly underwater instead of this hazy vision that she's had before. despite the fact that chronologically Metroid Prime comes before Super Metroid, a number of power-ups that were available in Super Metroid are available in this game too. So, and Samus attains this nice purple and gold color scheme. So now that we have the gravity suit, basically navigating underwater is no longer a challenge. And really what we are going to be trying to do from at this point is to look for a way to get to the surface of this cave, which is over here, and make our way to the surface entrance. With the gravity suit, we now are intended to go back to the downed frigate, and we're going to explore the downed frigate where we had emerged from the Chozo ruins shortly after we had acquired the ice beam. I mean, this chamber, they're flying pirates now, but we can ignore those because all we're going to do is just come over here, hop into this submersive area. Well, these gel zaps. The gel zaps aren't particularly challenging to defeat. You just have to wait for them to open their two halves and shoot the electrical connection there to kill them. But again, just waiting for the right time. It's not really all that important. One of the new additions here is that there's flying pirates here, so take care of them. Here I'm just going to use the wave beam single missile to take care of them. And we are back at the very beginning of Frendrana's Edge. In fact, a particular room here is called the Frozen Pike. So that's where we first explored the caves. Continuing further, just make the slow climb along the Frozen Pike over here. This door will take us into the Lab Aether, where we had gotten the thermal visor. We will actually be using that door a little bit later on. I do like this little morph ball tunnel. It'd be nice to see more of it. Those of you who have played Metroid Other M, which I think is actually a game that gets a lot of undeserved dislike from the Metroid community. The area 2, the frozen area, has some nice morph ball tunnels that I think are really artistically interesting. And while I do agree that the story of Metroid Other M has some problems, I think the gameplay and exploration aspects are still quite fun and enjoyable. Okay, so we're going to take the elevator back down to Magmore Caverns. This is going to be a long trip back to Magmore Caverns and to the Talon Overworld, with largely no new items and no new scans. So we're going to try and make that trek as quick as possible. Once again, going to use the wave beam, since not a lot of the doors here are wave beam doors. I'm going to ignore the pirates this time. This particular climb is not very difficult, and we're just going through the door here. And the puddle spore, that's the name of this thing. So we're going to just shoot the puddle spore to flip it over into its defensive mode. Ignore the burrowers. More puddle spores here. Deal with that one. And shoot that one. Ah, yikes. I don't really remember how long they stay flipped over, or if they flip over at all. I think it's on a timer. Not 100% sure on that. But we're just going to keep going here. And one of the things that we can do is that now that we have the gravity suit, going through here, and the lava doesn't actually impede it. So in some ways it's kind of faster just to tank the damage in the lava. just go straight ahead. And considering that I have several energy tanks and I'm at near full health, so why not? Tank the damage here, because it's just faster. And here we are at the elevator back up to Talon Overworld. So we'll take the elevator back up to Talon Overworld and make our way back. I've lost count the number of times I actually end up taking this path, either going from Magmoor Caverns to Talon Overworld or going the other way. But anyway, this gets to be a very familiar sight. One thing too about the gravity suit that I neglected to mention is that with the gravity suit there's also a reduction in the amount of damage that you take. So one of the advantages there is that certainly your defense is way up. Oh, wrong. Ah, golly. Here we go. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use the ice beam. I could use the power beam. Doesn't matter. You know, we'll use the ice beam. So, completely missed the zoomer there. And now I'm back to the ship. Now, for whatever reason, I always find that I get turned around when I'm trying to go back to the frigate. But it's just through here. In fact, I think this is the first time in a very long time I haven't gotten turned around and gotten lost as to which path to take. It's also kind of weird to think that this is potentially a path where you could have explored from the onset, but those spots there. Pirate here. Oh. There we go. So those two space pirate or flying pirates there. Here we have a gel zap right in the middle of the. So just take a charged wave beam. They're only susceptible to the wave beam. And here we have another missile pack. It's taking us to a total of 70 missiles. I don't really know what a good amount of minimum missiles you need. A bit of a completionist in that I always try to get all the power-ups. That was neat. There's a little cavern here where you can go underneath, and it'll take you to the crashed frigate. It's a crash site. Here I'm going to use the ice beam because there are some crates in front of the door, and I believe that's an ice beam door anyway, so let's just go ahead. Make sure we go the right way. These tangle weeds, you can see how it slows your progress. And one of the things I like is that the music here is quite serene. I also like the fact that this really does have a familiar vibe. So, how familiar you are with the Orphean frigate? Ooh, I'm getting hammered by these auto turrets. But one of the things you'll notice is that that door has no power to it. So, armed with the thermal visor and the wave beam, we can restore power to the door. Enter. On the other side, we'll encounter yet another swarm. This one, morphology: Talon crab, crustacean native of Talon 4, hard-shelled swarm life form. Once harvested for food, exposure to Phazon has seen this practice diminish. Creatures are timid and harmless alone, but can be a problem when traveling in swarms. Basically, yep, these are another swarm enemy. And there are a lot of these Talon crabs, but generally, largely harmless, so just go by them. I don't know if you encounter Talon crabs anywhere else. I don't really think so. And here we get some of the best music, so I'm going to try and talk for as little as possible. But I do want to just keep commenting on. So here we have another variation on the space pirate. Morphology: Aqua Pirate. Space pirates with exoskeletons modified for underwater use. Using modified thruster packs and gravity suit technology, the space pirates have armor suits for the use in liquid environments. Thermal tracking is still very useful against these units, as the pirate engineers have yet to eliminate the thruster pack's high heat signature. In this case, since we are going to be using the wave beam, we'll just stun them. So these are basically like flying pirates, but underwater. They will do the kamikaze thing that when you damage them, they'll go for that last-ditch effort of trying to ram you in death. But anyway, in a lot of the rooms, the doors have no power, and so you're forced to find these power conduits, blast them with the wave beam to activate them. Missile expansion, or missile ammo there. There's the third one. Every room has a different number of these power conduits, so really make sure to explore the rooms thoroughly. So there we've gotten 3 power conduits. The last one is in fact right near the door itself. So we have these platforms. I kind of like to think that this actually is some sort of emergency mechanism where all these platforms have different densities in water to actually allow you for this. Of course, one of the problems is that as soon as you step on one, you'd be changing the density and the stability of the platform, and therefore you would sink. So I'm not exactly sure how the physics of those work or why they float, but oh well. Come on, open up. Once again, there's a save station over there, just like in the original frigate. We never went there the last time, and we're not going to go ahead this time, so there's no real need. Alright, let's blast this door. Let's see if we can activate it. Oh golly, what's wrong with you? Come on. There we go. Behind the glass here, just shoot the glass to get an energy tank. There's a number of upgrades on this crash frigate, and one of the nice things is that you can acquire all the expansions on the first time. And geez, I'm acting like such a rookie. I realize that there's a power conduit right here that you need to blast, and there will be another power conduit just a little ways up. In fact, wrong visor, right there. And there's a third conduit way up there. We can see that there are these aqua reapers, or aqua vines. Aqua reaper, aqua vine, aqua reaper, I think. I can't recall. And so just slowly neutralize them as you make your way up. Can I see that? I think I might be able to shoot it from here. There we go. So activate the door. Continue to climb up. In the beginning, I used to have a lot of trouble with this. Let's try that again. But with a good time space jump, you should be able to make it no problem. Alright, here, not only do we have some more power conduits. Oh, who's shooting me? Oh, these auto turrets are so annoying. So we have some power conduits. So one charge blast with a wave beam, and oh, that's on the other side. And one missile will take care of the auto turrets. There's a couple things in here. First off, there is in fact a new creature, although, I mean, new, I'm not sure how new it really is. But Aquadrone, security mecha adapted for use in underwater areas. The space pirates have adapted a number of sentry drones for use in liquid environments. These aquadrones utilize an arsenal and artificial intelligence suits similar to their cousins. The pirates have been unable to properly shield these drones from electrical attack, making them vulnerable to the wave beam. So again, hint, use the wave beam when fighting these things. The wave beam will shock them, and 2 or 3 charge wave beam will cause them to fall. So these things do drop ultra energy for 100 units of health, and we can see that we have another cordite panel here. So it's our hint to use the super missile and to get the next missile expansion up to 75. Oh, and I'm forgetting that the next thing is make sure we get all the scans. I think I'm missing one. I might have to go back to the top. Nope, I've got them all here. More of these Aqua Reapers. Nothing more than just mild irritations. And yet another room where there are power conduits and aqua drones or aqua pirates that we have to deal with. I think the aqua pirates are tougher than the flying pirates. It seems that they require much more damage. Alright, let's try that again with the power conduit. There we go. So, one power conduit. And another power conduit. And another power conduit over here. And that takes care of that. So, yeah, if you follow the path and you make your way to the other side as intended, one of the things that you can do is you can get all the scans and all the items on your first pass through, and so as a consequence we won't be returning here for any reason. And in fact, anytime we need to go back to the other side of the Talon overworld, we're just going to cut through the Chozo ruins. In this room we have yet another scan. Aquasac will burst when subjected to impact or trauma. Believed to be in the same family as the sapsac, this plant has similar features. It will burst when exposed to force. This protective response keeps most creatures from feeding on it. So this bottom part ruptures. We'll ignore the Aquasac. And in here, it's probably a normal door. We have another morph ball puzzle. Now the physics in the water here allow the morph ball to jump much higher. Oh, I should have a little bit of trouble with this. I can never quite get the timing right. But at the top here is an energy tank. So, very useful. Again, without the jump ball, you use the morph ball, but the jump ball is a nice, again, quality of life improvement. Just makes it a little bit easier and faster. Alright. So here, we're going to just climb out here. Come out on the other side and into this particular door. And here we are greeted with a creature. We could have encountered this creature in other rooms earlier. Morphology: seedling, plant-based ground feeder. Dorsal spines can be ejected in self-defense. Interesting creature. It's supposed to be a plant-based creature, but of course, it looks, I've never seen a plant quite like this. I will say the seeds are annoyingly homing, and we are going to make it to the Phazon Mines. Phazon Mines is a little bit treacherous, especially if you're not sure what you're doing, and we will explore the Phazon Mines in the next video. So, I hope you're enjoying the video, and stay tuned.